is the absolute bodhicitta. Anyway, is developing, of course, here. Say that. So, so that all beings with their temporary confusions may be self-liberated through the wisdom awarenesses, and in the space of the primordial purity, I generated bodhicitta in a great immovable resting state. So that is really the absolute bodhicitta. We developing this, to start this bodhicitta here, they said then great compassion. Ho is the expression of the amazing or the joy or excitement, joy and excitement. Why you have the joy and the excitement in this time? This time because now you see that like the beautiful result, our enlightenment call it, is right with us. And all the sentient beings, even though they have so many troubles, difficulties, but that is short times, not just forever. Because their nature is waiting, wake up to call. Everyone is ready to that. So there was no one is out of that qualities, and everyone is a try. If they work for their nature, they all have the right to get enlightenment. So for that reason, so the express of the joy, appreciation for all the sentient beings they can get. And they express the joy to ourselves, or one's own self. So how it's wonderful that how I can help to them, how to do all these beings I can help that, and how blessed that I can help and support. At the same time, I'm going to discover my inner nature and helping for all beings. So it's many reasons to feel happy and joy and excitement. And then in all these beings, that temporarily confusions. So that means also everyone is same natures. We all have the same natures. But due to our own mistakes, then we are confused. Those are in the teaching said that in the beginning time, everyone is. Before that, as we join the prayer of the Kuntuzangpo, and what? All the samsara phenomena all the existing phenomena are same foundation, but two sources. Two paths. In all, it is same foundation, but the two paths and the two results achieved. All is the same. So all nature is really pure from the beginnings. There is no even a name of the delusions, no name of the obscurations at all. Everything is so perfect and pure. That's the one. But then the energy of this Dharmakaya that we know, we also can detect ourselves a little bit. Even Dharmakaya is completely pure and open, vastness status. Pure from the beginnings. Those all explain the quality of this Dharmakaya, our own nature, the mind. It has all that energy we explained. We went through, and the teaching said, Sambhokaya energies. It's already there, ready to act. So when it's ready to act at that time, when they're ready to act, and then, such as Buddha Samye Bhadra, according to teaching, when that energy arises, that moment, Buddha Samye Bhadra recognized it is a self-display. Self-display from the Dharmakaya nature, or one's own awareness ever used. Is a display of one's own awareness. That moment, we recognize, that moment relax it, that moment, that display is merged back, or in the teaching said, liberated back to the Dharmakaya status. Then Buddha Samye Buddha become the enlightenment Buddha. We sentient beings, same nature, same thing happened. All sentient beings, when that energy arises at the beginning of time, that energy of the mind, that display, that from the Sambhogaya energy arises, immediately we sentient beings reacted. We reacted as subject and object. That arising energy, we didn't detect that is a sub-display. We see this something different. We reacted. And that is in the teaching said, is the beginning of the duality. That means, duality means beginning of the ignorance. Inborn ignorance. That panic or that kind of reaction created all, then duality become bigger and wider, and then continue carried. Then we diluted. Then we start developing all different habit patterns. Our own dream. We didn't recognize this is our own display of the mind, or if we use that example. And then we hold as a subject, object, as real, and then created all the habit patterns. Those are then in the teaching said, all different 3 habit patterns we created. Habit pattern of the poems, habit patterns of the usages, and habit patterns of the, maybe I'm sorry, I should have said, habit patterns of the areas, or habit pattern of the areas, habit pattern of the and so habit pattern of the area, or if I use translated that way, I'm sure this is the popular. I mentioned many times to you all, many of you know that habit pattern, and also is a very famous teachings. Habit patterns of the, if I use translate this way, habit patterns of the habit patterns of the place, habit patterns of the object, habit patterns of the poems. So those are 3. Now I explain so you will understand more in that. Habit pattern of the place is then the whole this universe, world, where we are. All this is. And all this universe and the world, such as mountain, water, earth, and all that is the habit pattern of the places. And together with that habit pattern, all the 5 objects of senses, form, sound, smell, taste, touch. Those are the 5 objects of the places. That's what I translated today, and you can check other books and how they translated that. And the second one is then, second habit pattern is the, I think I translated object, I believe, but maybe I translated that way. Object, subject, and the poem. Object, poem is all the universes, and as well as 5 objects, and the object, subject habit pattern is at consciousness, and as well as all our good activity and bad activity, or negative and positives. So that is second one. Third object habit pattern is forms. Forms, and that is the forms of our individual forms, or whatever the beings we are, whichever beings we are in the 6 realms. So they are forms, and that together with that habit pattern, if they own habit patterns of the limbs and limbs, those all, and the limbs and the fingers and so forth. So those are the 3 habit patterns in the teaching mentioned. So that is how really we develop that. When we develop those habit patterns or start developing from the beginner's times. Since it's beginner times developed, even that, and therefore then this our way of perceiving these subject and objects have become very distant. Even though its object is our creations, but it's become distant from us, so very separated to us. And our subject is kind of our mind, and the object is external, is separated. So therefore, this present time, these all objects, what we see, is our mind. According to the teaching, it's not really your mind, even though it started from the mind, creation of the mind, yet because it's so long, so many, countless lives, countless years, it just become kind of completely separated from each other. So therefore, because that's what we hold, that's what we grasping, according to the teaching, then it's not exactly in our mind, even though it is really come from mind. But what is the mind is our appearance of this. When we see, when we hear, when we smell, when we taste, when we touch, that appearance to the each senses, that is mind. Mind, that is the mind, including our mind. So those are habit patterns. And then each time, those emotions become stronger and stronger, and more heavy and more heavy, and they created all this. Everything is created by the mind. And the gracious teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, gave these examples. Examples, again, maybe I say, trying to remember that. That is, in the teaching said, for example, said where our, according to Buddhism, where our earth is residing. Our earth is where is existing, or where is earth is relying now. Our earth is relying on the water. Where water is relying on the wind. Where wind is relying in the space. Where space is relying. Space is not relying on the wind. Space is not relying on the water. Space is not relying on the earth. Space is not relying on any of those elements. Pretty similarly, our present all these 5 aggregates, 18 dhatus, where is relying? All that is, where is relying? That is relying with all our karmic activities, different activity of the karma. And where our karmic activities are relying is improper, and so in karmic way is relying improper attitude of the mind or improper mind. So is all the karmic emotions are relying on the improper mind or unmannered mind. Unmannered mind. Unmannered mind, where is relying? Unmannered mind is relying on the pure nature of the mind. A pure nature of the mind, where is relying? Is not relying any places. That's how emotions and all that develop, these old habit patterns is developed, getting stronger. So this is what really the nature is. Therefore, it is a temporarily arising delusions. Of course, for the sentient beings, when we never reverse ourselves, sometimes it lasts a long time, but reality is temporary. For those reasons, in the great teaching and all those great masters use examples. This is it, all these emotions, all these obscurations, like as cloud in the sky. Clothing is temporary, it's not forever. Clouds are never glued with the sky. Clouds are not glued with the sun and the stars and moons. It's all temporary. That developed. That's something that we can clear away, can change. And for that reason, with that understanding, then how it is. And then the second one is said, the